Hello, am I audible?
Yes, I audible.
Okay, great. So in today's session, we'll be discussing about the summary of a week 5. Okay.
Okay,
So
sir.
if you are a qualifier student also, you can watch the session because if you want to continue with the city course after qualifier exam, so you need to submit the assignment, right? So today and tomorrow we'll be discussing the week 5 content, and then Monday, Thursday, means next week we'll be discussing about the quiz 1 exam or qualifier exam, right? Week 1 to 4. So let's start the week 5 content here. I hope everyone has gone through the lecture. Okay.
Sir, excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, are PIQs available in the portal?
No, previous year questions are not available in the portal. You can ask any previous year student. Okay, they must have. But don't worry, we are going to release the mock test 1 week before the exam. So Monday we'll release the mock test, so you can attempt that particular mock test. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sir, I have some doubt from PIQ.
Yeah, we'll take that from next week. Okay. So Monday, we have 3 sessions next week, so you can ask anytime. Yeah. So please solve all the previous question if you have, and you can ask your doubts and from next week. Okay. All week 1 to 4, any doubt. Okay. Okay. Is my screen visible? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So basically, week 5 deals with the list data structure. Okay. So let's say, for example, whatever we have discussed up till now, we have discussed one variable, right? Either we are storing a integer or we are storing some value into that. Let's say, for example, flag, we are storing a boolean or any string. Let's say, for example, none, right? But what if we want to store multiple values, a collection of those values? So for that, which we have to use, which data structure we have? So for that purpose, we have something called list. Okay. So if you see this particular variable a equals to 2, it means what? A is an integer data type. If I say a equals to either true or false, it means what? A is having what? Boolean data type. Okay, because the output is either true or false. Here a is integer data type, right? And if I say a equals to, let's say for example, any string, let's say computer, then in that case, a will be having the string data type. Okay. So this is what we have discussed up till now. But what if I want to store the number, the string, or the boolean value in a particular variable, say, right? For example, please mute.
Sir, could you please repeat?
Yeah. So up till now, what we have discussed, whenever we say when we create a variable a equals to 2, so this variable is basically what? It will take integer data type. When we say a equals to true or false, so data type of this particular variable will be what? Boolean. When I say a equals to computer or any string, the data type of this particular variable is string, right? But let's say, for example, I want to store 2, 3, then let's say, for example, string as well, right? So what we have to use, right? So there must be some mechanism to store all this particular thing. So we can say collection of multiple elements here, right? I want to store number of integers. I want to store number of strings here. So how we can do that? For that purpose, we have something called list data structure here. Okay, list. Now, what is a list here? Let's discuss. Yeah, so you can see a collection, right? Collection of elements, or you can say object, right? So often we need to keep a track of collection of values, right? For example, student with the highest marks in physics, customer who have bought food items from SV store, right? So there are different customers who has bought the items from SV store. So how we are going to store that in a particular, we can say object, that is basically we are discussing here, right? Now, what is list here? So when we say list, so it is basically defined by using this square bracket. So if you say A equals to this particular square bracket, now this means the data type of this A is now list here, right? So whenever you see this square bracket symbol, it means a list. And we can store number, we can store a string, we can store anything here. So you can see sequence within a square bracket. For example, 1, 13, 2, this is basically a list. We can store a string as well within diagram, cane, Monday, school is also a list. Or if I simply say this particular thing, this is basically empty list. We don't have any other element into this particular list, right? So let's say, for example, I want to store the roll number of a student, right? Who have more than 50 marks in the mathematics. So I will create one variable, roll number, more than mathematics. Let's say, for example, this variable, and I will store all the roll numbers who got more than 50 marks in the mathematics in a list here. Let's say, for example, 21F1, 21F2, 21F3, right? So we
देखो
are
कान्हा राजा वाली हाल तो समझ में क्यों नहीं?
okay, right? So we use list to store the elements, right? And each and every here you can see we call it as an element, right? So we can store number, string, anything here, right? Or we can store any a list as well inside the list, right? That is also possible, right? So that is basically a list. So you can see, okay, anyone, any doubt? What is list now?
No, sir.
Yeah, if we want to store a collection of any element, so we use a list for that particular purpose, separated by a comma here you can see. Now let's say, for example, we have two lists. L1 is basically what having element 1 and 13. L2 is basically having an element 2, 17 and 1, right? Now, if I want to append both the lists, it means what? I want to merge both the lists. So how we can do that? By using this double plus symbol, right? So whenever we see L1 plus plus L2, it means what? This is going to get merged. So it will be a single list and it will be like this 1, 13, 2, 17, 1 like that here. Okay. So this is how the appending, or we can say a merging of a two list happen here, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great, right? So let's say, for example, I want to add the element into this particular list, right? So we have L1, L2. We saw how we can merge both the lists into a third list. If I say L1 equals to L1 plus plus L2. But what if I want to add an element into this particular list here? How we can do that? So simply we can add this L1 plus plus, let's say I want to add 4 here, right? But I cannot add 4 like this because this 4 is basically an integer. If you want to add the element into a list, that must be in the format of list here. So I need to add like this because here we are, what we are doing, we are merging two lists here. So L1 we have, that is 1 comma 13, and 4 I want to add. The output of this will be what? 1 comma 13 comma 4 like this here. Okay. So this is what.
How to add the 4? We have to store 4 in the list and then do.
Yeah, so if I want to add a 4 into this list, then 4 it will be in the format of list only. So we can only merge two lists like that. Okay. So here you can see, if you want to extend the given list with the item X, so you have to use the square bracket for that particular item which you want to merge with that particular list here, right? So we can also access the element of this list through index. Okay. Anyone know what is index here?
So it's something like the position number.
Yeah. So we can see the position of the this particular element. Okay. So in Python, we start indexing from 0. So this 2 is at 0th index. 17 is basically at first index. This 1 is basically at second index value. Okay. So 0th position, first position, second position, right? Like this. But here we don't use in. Yes. Any question?
Is plus and plus are same.
Sorry. Double plus and
Single plus.
no. We use single plus to do a addition operation here, right? Double plus is basically what here we are using for a merging of both the list. Okay.
So if we
Initial
change L2 and L1,
Excuse me,
the
sir.
order of elements will be like different, no?
Yeah, so L2 plus L1 if we do, then first L2 will come 2, 17, 1, and then again 1 and 13. So list can have a duplicates as well. Okay.
Okay, sir.
But if you see in Python programming, we use only single plus there. Okay. But here we are dealing with a pseudo code. So for understanding the concept, we are using this double plus symbol here. Okay.
Sir, in single plus, we can add only one element.
No, we can add multiple element as well. So let's say, for example, I want to add two elements, 3 and 4. So I can just mention 3 comma 4 and then L1 plus plus. I can merge these two thing as well, right? Like this.
Sir, then what is the difference between them? Actually, I'm a bit confused.
What's the difference between? Can you repeat your question?
Sir, in plus plus and single plus, then what is the difference between plus plus and single plus?
Single
If
plus,
both
we
perform same
perform
operation.
addition operation here. Okay. For this city course, because we are dealing with the pseudocode here, right? So for this particular course, plus means what? Addition here, and double plus means what? We are merging a two list here, like that. Okay. So we are not discussing any programming language here. Okay.
Excuse me, sir.
Hmm.
Sir, actually, I joined 10 minutes late this session. So, what you are explaining and what have been explained, can you
No,
please?
we are discussing week 5 summary here. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
So, sir, this is the starting slide, or have you
Yeah. So we have
teacher
just introduced what is
something?
list here, and then we are continuing. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Don't worry if you join late. Okay.
Sir, on which date we will discuss the PIQs? I have some doubt there.
Yeah. Next week. Okay. From
Next week,
Monday we'll
which
discuss.
date?
From Monday. Yeah. Okay. So next
Example of
next
the
week entirely we'll discuss quiz 1 or qualified doubts. Okay. Yeah. Any question related to list? So this
Sir,
plus is
can
basically addition operation here, and double plus is basically we use to merge two lists. Okay. So don't get confused with the Python. Python we use plus symbol only. That's it, right? But here we are discussing the pseudocode. Okay.
Sir,
Yes.
indirectly we can
Sorry, I'm not getting
both
your voice.
perform same operation. Na?
Single plus and double plus you are saying? No, single plus is addition. So when we say 2 plus 3, we are performing addition operation here. That is basically 5, right? We cannot do like this. We cannot perform addition between the two lists, right? That is not a correct here. We can perform the addition between the integers, right? Not the list data type here.
So please give an example of double plus.
Yeah. So here you can see double plus, right? Let's say, for example, I have this list L1, just have element 3, right? Now I want to add 4 into this particular list. So L1 plus plus in bracket, I will add this 4 because this 4 is now a list data type. And the output of this will be what? L1 is having already 3. So 3 comma 4, that will be the output, right? But what is plus plus is basically simply we are performing addition. That's it, 3 plus 4, that is 7. We are
Yes, sir.
not doing any square bracket here because data type will be different. We cannot perform like
Mm,
this also. L1
means sir,
plus
in
plus
list
3.
we will perform only plus plus.
Yeah. For merging two lists, we can use this double plus symbol here. For appending the element or extending the list, merging two lists, we use double plus symbol here. Okay. Like this.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So if I say L1 plus plus 4, that is incorrect. L1 plus plus 4, that is incorrect because L1 is basically a list here. 4 is basically an integer here. We cannot merge two different data type here, right? So 4 must be a list. So we have to put this in the square bracket like this. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Also, if you see in square bracket 3 plus in square bracket 4, so both are the lists. We cannot perform any addition operation here. That is incorrect. Okay. It's also invalid case.
So, sir, appending and extend both are same or different?
See, don't get confused with the Python here, right? When we say in Python, we are appending the element, right? When we say extend, we are extending with the list. Okay. So don't get confused with the Python thing here. In Python, appending the element and extending the list. Okay. So input is element in the case of append, and in the case of extend, input is the list here. Okay. There are two different things. Okay.
Okay, got it,
Here,
sir.
yeah. Here in the case of city, what we are saying, this should be in the format of list only. Okay. So we are merging a two list, or we can say appending the two list here. Okay. But if you see in Python, appending and extend, both will add the element into a list, but not element. Append will add the element, but extend will add the list. Okay. That's the input is a difference there. Okay.
Okay, sir. Yes.
Yeah.
So what you say the difference between append and extend? Can you please repeat?
Okay, so that is related to a Python, okay, and not to CT course. So when we say list dot append, right, the input to this function is basically an element. So if I want to add one element into a list, then I will use append function. But if I want to extend the list, so if I say list dot extend, here the input will be a list here, right? So this list will get merged like that. Append is basically we are simply adding one element into the list.
No.
Yeah, in Python only, in Python course. So as of now, don't
And sir, in CT, what is
in
the
C
meaning of append and extend?
no, in CT both the things are same, okay? Because we are treating one element as a list here, okay? So that's it. Okay. So
In CT, append and extend are same, but in Python you are saying append will add a list and extend will add only one element.
no. In the case of Python, append will take an element, okay? So here
Okay.
input is an element. Extend will take list as an input. Okay, so we have two functions, append and extend in the Python. So X is the element here, and extend is basic. Extend will take the list. So for example, if you see, let me use a different color here. So if I say this is basically my L1, right? 3, 4. So if I say L1 dot append 5, right? So I can only add append 5. I cannot add append 5, 6. Right? That's not the correct.
Sir, but in Python also we do L1 dot append L2, where L2 is a list.
No, we don't do L2. We extend L2.
Okay.
Okay. So if you want to perform this operation, that is basically L1 dot extend L2. Okay. So extend it will take the input list here. So don't get confused between the Python. I know like most of the students are referring to a Python. So that's why getting confused. So as of now, just understand in the case of CT course, we are using this double plus symbol to add the element into the list, or we can say merging of a two list here. That's it, right? Simple say merging of two lists, because you can see even a single element we are
In
sorry.
CT, we consider append and extend as same.
Yeah, you can consider here. We are not dealing with the extend function here in this case, right? We are saying if you want to extend the list, then we can only merge like this, okay? So don't get confused with the keyword in the case of a CT course here, okay? That's it, okay? So simply, if you want to merge two lists, or if you want to add the element into a list, that should be in the format of this square bracket. So then only we can add the element into the list, okay? Like that. Okay, so we'll discuss that. So you can see we have this thing. Yeah. So why we required this list? We already discussed that. You can see an example here. Let's say, for example, I want to store the sequence number of a student whose uh, month of birth is May, right? So what we are going to do, we are going to create one variable May list, that is basically an empty list here. We have a while loop here. We are going through all the rows one by one. We are reading, we are checking. If month of birth is May, then what we are doing here? We are adding that sequence number into this particular list. So for the first iteration, it will be empty. And let's say, for example, sequence number is 2. 2 having the month of birth May. So we are going to add like this. So the output will be what? May list will be 0, 2 like this. Okay, only one element. Again, if we go, again, if we check, again, if we say, let's say, for example, sequence number 5 having the month of birth May, again then 5 will get append here. So that will be like this. 5 plus 5, let's say 0, 5. So that will be 2 comma 5 like this. Okay. So we are adding one element like that. Okay, here. So simply in the case of this composition thinking course, just remember this plus symbol we use to merge both the list here like that, because this we are putting in the format of list only, and this is also a list. Okay. So if I want to store the collections of element, then we use a list here. Okay, you can see a example for the list here. Any doubt up till now what we have discussed?
Sir,
Huh?
we can add a integer list and a other list also, sir.
Yes, you can do that.
Boolean list and
Yes,
string list.
Yeah, if you say L1 is having 3 comma 4 and L2 is having, let's say, Piyush, then let's say Ram like this, then also you can merge both the lists. In the output, L of L1 plus L2 will be both the things, 3 comma 4, then we have Piyush, then we have Ram like this. Okay, then you can do that. That's not an issue. So list can contain duplicate as well as string, numbers, any data type. Okay, like that. Okay, great. So you can see a sequence with the bracket we have discussed till now. One more example. Let's say, for example, I want to store the list of a student from Chennai. So student from Chennai in the format of list here you can see. So what we can do, we can simply create one empty list here. Again, we can go through entire table one by one using a while loop, and we are applying a condition. If town city equals to Chennai, then simply we are adding that sequence number into the list. That's it. Okay. So we are going to get the list of a student from Chennai here. So this is how we can use the list to store the multiple elements here, right? Now let's say, for example, I have stored multiple elements into the list. Now how I can access those particular element here, right? That is basically processing of the list here. So let's see here. Now in till week 4, we have discussed about the while. We have not discussed about the for loop here, right? Now, what is for loop? So up till now, we have just discussed while loop and what we have said. So while loop will get continue executing till this particular condition will become false. Okay. If this condition is false, then only it will exit the while loop. Otherwise, it will keep executing the same thing again and again. Right? Any doubt here? Anyone?
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, actually, I had missed the instruction session summary on week 3 and week 4. Will it be available on the calendar? The summary, not the doubt.
Yes, it is available on the calendar. You can
Means
check
the
the
summary,
instruction.
you have only taken the TS instructor session.
No, I'm not sure. You can just refer to that. Okay, the instructor might have taken. Yeah. Okay. Please check. Let the YouTube channel. All the videos are there. Okay. Okay. So this is how while loop will work. Okay. So till this condition will become false, we are going to execute this particular entire block here, whatever we have here. But how for loop works? Let's see here. So what we are saying, for each x in the list here, right? So let's say, for example, I have the element 1, 2, 5, 7 like this. Now how for loop will work for each? Okay. So for the city course, we are using this for each because we want to understand how this for loop is working. So for each x in L, what does this mean? For each element in L, I want to do something. So do something x, right? With x. So whatever the logic we have here, that we are going to execute. So what is going to happen first for each x in L? So for the first iteration, the value of x will be what? 1 here, because we have first element here like that. And then x will be 1, and whatever we have written here, that will get executed. Then we will go back to another iteration. The next iteration, the value of x will be next element, that is basically a 2. Again, we'll do something with that element. Again, we go for a loop. Again, next iteration, next is basically element is 5. So x equals to 5. Again, we'll do something with that x. Again, we'll go back to a for loop. Again, we'll see the next element, that is x equals to 7. Again, we'll do something with that x. Again, we go back to the particular for loop. But now we have gone through all the elements here. We don't have any other element inside the list. Then this, we are going to exit the for loop here. Okay. So the difference between while and for loop is what? While will get continue till that particular condition will become false. But here in the case of for loop, we have to continue this loop till all the elements we have access from this particular list here, like that. So if we don't have any other element to go through, then we can exit the list here, or we can say for loop here. Okay. So for each
Excuse me,
x
sir.
in L, yes.
So means so while can be used for any condition, while for will be used only for when there is list.
Yeah, only when there is list, or we can say string also, because we string
Okay.
also considered as a list. So if I say pu is basically a string s, right? But if I say for each x in s, so it will take one letter at a time. X equals to p, then I, then y, then u, then s, then h, like that. So we can apply it on a string as well, or we can apply it on any particular number as well. So we'll be discussing that in the later part of the course. So we use for loop when we know that we have a fixed number of iteration. Okay, we want to execute this block for a fixed number of time. Let's say, for example, number of element inside the list, or for the string, or we have some range number. Let's say for example 1 to 100. In that case, we can use a for loop. We use while loop when we don't know how many times we need to execute that. So we'll put one condition and then we'll try to execute till that condition will become false. Okay. So difference in the for loop and while loop. Okay, like that.
Sir, another query means the initial summary you told, the summary I will find in TA session or instructor session only.
Just go to YouTube channel. You can find out all the sessions. Okay.
No, I know all the sessions are there, but summary specifically where will I find, in TA session or in instructor session?
Instructor session.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So any other doubt, anyone? How for loop is working? So for every element inside that particular list, we are doing something. And we need to iterate this entire list till we exhaust that particular element, all the elements. Okay. We have gone through all the elements. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let me use a different example here that will be much clear to you. Now let's say, for example, I have one list. Okay. So let's say I have one list. Same list only, L1257. Now I want to create new list and I want to store the square of this particular element inside the list. Okay. So sq underscore L. So this is basically empty as of now. But in this particular list, what I want to store, square of this particular element. For example, 1 square 1, then 4, 25, 49, like that. So how we can do that? If I have this given list as an input in the SQL, I want to store the square of all the elements here. So what I can do, I will create one empty list here. I can apply for loop for each x in that particular list. What I want to do, let's say, for example, we'll create I. So I
SQL
equals,
dot append x.
sorry.
So means then we'll do SQL dot append x.
Dot append x. No, we are not dealing with the Python here. In Python, you can do that, but yeah, append x, not x. We want the square of that, right? So x square we have to do, right? So what we can do, we can create one, say for example, I equals to x to the power 2, okay, or x into x we can do. Then we are going to store SQL equals to SQL plus I in bracket, right? So how it works? So for every element, for example, x equals to 1. So 1 into 1 will be a 1. I is 1 here. So we are going to add 1 into the list. Again, if I go for next element 2, So 2 into 2, that is basically a 4. So now I is 4. We are going to add a 4 here like this. Okay, so 1 comma 4. Again, go for a next element. Next element is 5. So 5 into 5 is 25. Now I is 25. We are going to add 25 here like this. Okay. So whatever you want to do with that particular x, we can mention here, and then we can append into a new list, or we can update the previous list as well. Okay. So this how a for loop will work. For every item in that particular list, we are going to do something with that. That's it. Okay. So x iterates through the values in the list here. So yeah, any question now? Anyone?
So is it like that in for loop we don't put if conditions, and in while loop we put the if conditions?
If condition?
Yes.
No, we can put the if condition as well.
Okay.
Yeah. So if I want to just store the even numbers from that list, I can just mention here. I can just change that if x remainder 2. So x mod 2 equals to 0, then only I want to add that particular x into my SQL list. For example, even list. Okay. So that thing also you can do. So whatever you want to do with that particular element, you can write a logic for that, and then you can store in the new list, or you can update the list like that. Okay. Okay. So here you can see one example. So we have a May Chennai list. So first what we have discussed, we have a list of a student who born in May, that is May list here in the previous.
Loop works same as that of Python.
Shelly, your voice is pretty low. Can you speak again?
Sir, in computational thinking, for loop works same as that of Python.
Sorry, I'm not getting it. Is this for me only or for everyone?
For everyone, sir.
Voice is not clear.
Yeah, your voice is not.
It's breaking.
Okay. See what we are discuss now. You can see in the previous few slides, we have find out the Chennai list, and then we have also find out what May list, right? So we have two lists now. In the case of May list, we have list of a student who born in May. Okay, so we have a list of a student who born in May, sequence number there. In the case of Chennai list, we have a sequence number of a student who born in, sorry, who are from Chennai, like that. Okay, so sequence number of a student born in May, sequence number of a student who are from Chennai. So we have these two lists. Now what we want to find out, what we want to store the student who born in May and from Chennai. Okay, so Chennai student born in the month of May. We want to find out that. Okay. In city, for loop works same as that of Python. Yes, the same thing. While for loop will work same as a Python only, but here we don't specify each in the case of Python. For X in L only, that is basically a syntax in Python. Okay. But to understand how this for loop works, that's why we have put each here. So for each element in L, like that. Okay. Okay. So you can see May list, Chennai list. Then you can see for each X in May list. So for X in the May list, right? So let's take one example and let's see how this entire pseudocode is working. Okay, because this is very important. Here we are comparing the elements of two lists here. So let's say, for example, in the case of May list, I'm just writing a random sequence number 2, 3, 5, 8. Okay, let's go with a 4 element only, right? So these are the sequence number of a student who born in the month of May. Now we have Chennai list. So these are sequence number of a student from Chennai. Okay, like that. Now we want to store the student from Chennai but born in the month of May in this particular May Chennai list. So first we'll create that variable, initialize with the empty list. Now this is basically empty list for each X in May list. So for each X, so first X is what? May list. X is basically a 2. For each Y in Chennai list. Now what is Y here? 1. Y equals to 1. if x equals to Chennai, sorry, if x equals to y, is this true? No. 2 is not equals to 1 here. That is not correct. So we are not going to do anything here. We'll go for a inner for loop. So first we need to compare the inner for loop and then we have to go for a outer for loop. Like what we have discussed in the case of a nested while loop. Same thing here, right? So now x is fixed 2. Now we're comparing x with all the elements of y here like that. So if I go for a next element, y is basically a 3. Again, 2 is not equals to 3. Again, we are not going to do anything. Again, go for next element. Again, y equals to 8, not equals to 2. So in this way, we are going to compare each element with all the elements of the Chennai list here, right? So at the last, what will happen if I say y equals to 9 here, but x is basically still 2. So again, not true. We go for a next iteration, but here we don't have all remaining element. We have gone through all the elements. Now in that case, we'll go for a outer for loop. Now here next element is what? 3. Again, same thing, same process will get repeated. Again, y will start from 1. So again, y equals to 1. Now x is 3. Again, compare, not true. Again, go for next iteration. But now here, y is 3. Now what will happen here if 3 equals to 3? What we are going to do? Yes,
We
anyone?
will add x.
Yeah. So this is basically initially empty plus in square bracket. We are putting x, that is basically 3. So output will be a 3 list. So if I keep executing all the for loop, if I go through all the elements in the output, I am going to get 3 and 8. Okay, like that. So 3, comma 8. Yes.
Sir, means in this nested condition, can we reverse swap the nested? Means in the outer loop we have kept May list and inner loop we have kept Chennai list. Can we do the reverse thing? Means the
Yeah.
outer.
You can do reverse thing as well. Okay, no worries. Okay, but if you do the reverse, there might be a case. Suppose, let's say, for example, in the case of May list, we have 5 more, let's say 2 more element like this. Now here we have 6 element. Here we have 4 element, right? Now, in the case of May list, what will happen? This will execute how many times? Outer for loop?
6 times.
Yeah, if I see this one, this will get executed 6 times, okay? In total. But if I put Chennai list as a in the outer for loop and May list in the inner for loop, now this outer for loop will iterate to 4 times only, right?
Whichever is more, we have to keep in the outer loop.
But if you see, the number of comparisons will be same in both the case. Here also 24 times, here also 24 times it will get compared. Okay. So it's not like that. It depends, right? So if the number of elements are different, and if you want to exit this for loop in between based on some condition, so we are going to discuss that in week 5, week 6, week 7. So up till now, we are just discussing. We have to execute this entire code. What if I want just one student from Chennai list? I don't care which sequence number. If I found any one student in that particular list, I will store. And then I want to exit entire loop here. Then I can use exit the keyword here to exit this particular loop. I don't need to go through all the elements here. In that case, number of comparisons will be different. Okay. So as of now, don't worry. Even if you put anything here, number of comparisons will be what? 6 into 4. Like those elements we have like this, 24. Okay. But it depends. Okay. It's not like that. What we are doing inside this for loop, that matters. Okay. I hope you got what I said, right? How 24 comparisons is happening in both the case.
Yes,
right?
yes.
Yeah. Because this every element is getting compared with 4 times here. And we have 6 such elements. So 6 into 4, 24. Okay. But if I exit in between based on my required condition, then it will matter. Okay. Okay. So this is about the list nested for loops. Okay. So this is what we have discussed in lecture 5.2. An entire week 5 is based on the list only. and then we are solving few questions based on the list, so application of list only. Okay. So up till now, what we have discussed, we know what is list. Okay. So we know we can store the element inside the list. We know how we can combine the list like this, merge the list. We know how we can add the element like this, and we know how for loop works. That's it. Okay. So this is what we have discussed in the case of city course week 5.2. Whatever here we discuss, right? Indexing part, that is in Python. In city, we are not dealing with that as of now. Okay. So don't get confused. Okay. So just focus on the course content here. Now, this is what we have discussed. Now we have few functions as well. Okay. So these are the few functions. Now, most of the questions are based on these functions only, right? So if you understand the concept of list and if you understand how these functions are working, then your entire week 5, week 6 is that's it only. You just need to solve more question, nothing more. Okay. Now let's see how these functions are working. If I say L equals to 2, 3, 5, 6, 8, we have 5 elements here. Now what is length of L? L is basically my list. Okay. So length of list will be what? Number of element inside the list. So how many elements we have here? 5. The output of this will be a 5 here. Okay.
Sir,
So
we need
length.
to remember this function and the working.
Sorry.
We need to remember the name of the functions and the working of those.
Yeah. So length function basically what it does, you should know. Okay. You should remember. If I say length of list, so it will give us number of element in that list. That's it. Okay.
Sir, is this regarding of all the functions regarding of Python?
No. For this particular course only. Okay.
Yes, sir.
City course. We don't have.
Sir, but we have Python, right? For in CT.
Sorry.
Sir, we have Python in computer thinking, right?
No. Python course is different. We are just discussing pseudocode here. Okay.
Oh, yes,
So
sir.
these are functions for in pseudocode only.
Yeah, these are the functions for pseudocode only. In Python, we don't have any of this function. In Python, we just have len function. Okay, not GTH. We don't have, only len is there. Okay. So don't worry, don't get confused. We'll be learning all this thing in the Python course as well about list. So whatever we are discussing in the city course, topics are same in the case of Python. List, dictionary, set, all those things, but we are going to execute that in the Python. Okay. Here we are discussing the concept. Okay. There will not discuss concept because you already done the city course. So length of L basically number of element inside the list. Now first of L, as name suggests, first element of the list. We are saying first element of the list. Can you tell me what could be the output?
2.
Yes.
2.
2.
2. This 2 or this 2?
With the bracket inside the list.
No. We said first element. Okay. So whenever we say element, so it's a element. So output will be 2 only. Okay, not the list. Last of L will be last element of the list. That is basically 8 here. Okay. So first and last, this is simple one. Length is also simple one. Number of element inside the list. First, basically first element of the list. Last is basically last element of the list. Now what is the rest?
While taking the last element, should we arrange it in some order?
No. You have to consider given order only. In this order only, okay?
Okay.
L equals to this one only, like that. Okay.
Yeah.
So it can be like this. So I guess you are confusing it. It can be like this. If I say L equals to 8, 5, then 10, 12, like that. In that case, last will be 12 and first will be 8. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, sir.
Yeah. I guess I have considered this in ascending order. That's why. So let me change this. So don't get confused. Okay. So here we can see the first element is 2 and the last element will be now, let's say for example, 11. Okay, so these three things are clear, right? Now, what is rest of list here? As name
Always.
huh? Yes, yes. All the elements inside from the list. Now we are saying all the elements, okay, not a single element. All the elements of the list except the first element. Except the first element. So when we say except the first element, in the output it will be 3, 8, 1, 11. So this will be a list. First and last is basically element, simple element. We don't need to put any bracket. But here rest and init will be all the element of the list. So we can say list of all the elements. So better write list of all the elements except the first element here. Okay. That is basically rest of list. Now, what is init of list? Init, for example, initial. Can anyone guess? Huh?
Sir, in rest, it is also element. Why we put it in square bracket?
No, list of elements. We are saying list of elements. List of all the elements. Okay. List of all the
So it
elements.
will return in list format or means rest L the elements.
List format only. This one, this particular format. Like that. Okay. So first and last, because these are the individual elements, so 2 and 11 like that. But rest and init will return list of element. List of all element except the last element here in this case. Except last element, that is basically init of L. Init means what? Initial. Okay. Rest means what? Remaining values we can say. So init is initial values of the list. That is basically what? 2, 3, 8, 1. So we are not going to add 11. So we have to accept the last element. Okay. So you can see length. It will give us number of element inside the list. First is basically a first element of the list. Last is basically last element of the list. Rest will give us what? Except the first element, all the elements inside the list. Init will give us except the last element, all the element inside the list. Okay. This is what
Sir,
init function works. Yes.
sir, we also have to arrange in ascending order.
No, no, you don't need to arrange in ascending or descending order. So that's why I have taken this example. Here order is not present, right? So don't get confused with any order. So simply just consider the given list in the given order only. No need to do any sorting. Okay. So first element is this one. Last element is 11. Rest of list is basically list of all the element except the first element. So we have to remove the first element. In the case of init list, list of all element except the last element. So we have to remove the last element here. Okay. Anyone, any doubt in this 5 function what we have discussed? You should know how these things are working. Okay. That's it.
So could you please
Because
repeat the init function?
Sorry, init?
Could you please repeat the init function? Init.
Yeah. So init will give us list of all the elements except the last element. So whenever we are using init, we have to remove the last element here. You can see 2, 3, 8, 1 will be in the output. In the case of rest, we have to remove the first element. That's it. Okay.
Sir, if the list has only one element, then last L and rest L will return the same element. Sorry, the rest L and init L will return the same element.
If the list is having only one element, in that case, yeah, no, we are removing, right? So it will remove, it will return empty set. Okay.
Okay.
Because you are removing, right? One element like that. So after removing, it will be empty if we just have one elements. But if you say just we just have one element two, and if you use first and last, then same answer will be there. Two only. Okay. Yes. Any question?
Sir, in activity 5.3, I could see that some questions they were asked about the length and length of the functions, and side by side they asked about the pairwise comparisons. What does it mean?
Okay, we'll discuss that question after this one. Okay, members are remaining. Okay, anyone, any doubt in how these 5 functions are working? This should be clear, right? Because we are directly going to use this function inside the pseudocode. That's it. Okay. Yes.
Sir, we will also cover the doubts regarding the graded assignment of week 4.
Yeah, you can ask. Yeah, at the last. Okay.
Sir, I have doubts regarding the some questions of that graded
Yeah.
assignment.
In the last, you can ask. Okay. Just wait for half an hour, then you can ask your doubt. Let me cover this important point first. Yeah.
Sir,
Yes.
I have doubts regarding not with the subject but with the procedures of the program. I contacted the support team in email.
Okay. Okay.
And then
See, all the support query, please email to support, because instructors are not a part of support team. Okay.
sir, that is the issue. In the email, they told me if you have any further doubts, you can communicate with the instructors.
No, if you have any doubt regarding the content, you can refer to us. Do you have any doubt regarding the content?
Kind of, sir. I have doubt that the qualifier program was supposed to be a week 4, and now we are proceeding with week 5 and 6. I have doubt that first of all, do we have to pay for week 5 and 6 separately?
No,
And
see,
how is
see,
the preparation time
for
given?
qualifier, only week 1 to 4 content is there. But once you clear qualifier, if you want to continue with the course, then you need to pay, and then you can go through the content. Okay.
So, sir, is there any policy change that we have week 5 and 6 contents? Then
No,
why
no,
are we
it
proceeding?
is released for everyone. It is released for everyone. So you can see all the 12-week content. Okay. It depends on you. But you have to just prepare week 1 to 4 for qualifier exam. That's it. Okay. So
Okay.
please watch the videos which is there on the left side of your course. Okay. All the introductory video. We have mentioned everything in those videos.
Thank you, sir, and I
Okay.
apologize for disturbing the class.
Yeah. Okay. So this about the 5 functions, and then we have function member. Can anyone guess what member function will give us?
So
As
it
name
will
suggests.
check whether the element E is a
Sir?
member of the list L.
Yes.
If
Sir?
E is
Yes.
present
It
in the
will
list.
return true if E is the member and false if E is not the member.
Yes. Correct. Yeah. So this will check if E is present in list L or not. So E is present in the list L or not. So remember, first we have list and then we have element. It's not like that element and list. No. First we have list, then we have element, like that. Okay. If I say member L comma 3, what's the output? It will give us either true or false. It's a Boolean output. This is the list we have. What is member L comma 3? Yeah. So here you can see 3 is present in the list. So this will return true. If I say 9 here, 9 is not in the list, then it will result false. Okay.
False.
That's it. So member, as name suggests, it will check whether that element is a member of that list or not. So it will always give us either true or false. If that element is present, true. If element is not present, false, like that. Okay. So I hope this all 5, 6 functions are clear to everyone, and you can see the working of those functions here, right? You can go through the pseudocode. It's not required for the course, but you can, if you understand this one, how we are finding out the remaining elements, how we are storing that, you can just refer to this pseudocode. Okay. So let me explain any one code that will be easy to understand. Okay. So let's say, for example, we have this as an input list. So we are calling this function. We have one variable found equals to false. We have init list empty set as of now for each element in L. So first X is basically what? 20. We are saying if found. What is found? False, right? So if false, then we are not going to execute this one. If condition is false, what we need to do? We need to go to else statement here. Else found equals to true. And what we are doing, previous equals to X. Now X is basically what?
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, actually, I was having a doubt with the concept of if, then in bracket we are writing Boolean value. I asked in a TA session. One sir told that if we write if a boolean variable in the bracket, then it will mean, yes, suppose here it is if found, then it will mean if found equal to true. Then we have to check with the condition. Is that part I got confused?
No, here just put the value of found. What is found as of now? False here, right?
Yes.
So
Yeah,
that's
so the
it.
instructor said that if you found this type of value in future, then you will have to do if here if found. So it means found equal to true. Then you have to compare it.
Yes, sir.
Found equals to true, right?
Yeah.
I
In
think she
previous
said like
class,
in
we have
general.
told this.
TA session
Okay.
we are doing
Here found is
solving the problem.
already listed false.
So already you can see a Boolean output is going to return. Even if you compare, let's say for example, found equal to true. See, if I put the value of found here, that is false. So false is equal to true. No. Again, anyway, we are comparing Boolean and the output will be Boolean only. So anyway, it is a false condition, right? But here if we have a true, so if true, that's it. And here again we are comparing true equals to true. Okay. For understanding purpose, you can refer to this particular expression. Okay, if you understand this thing. But in the case of if, we simply check condition is true or false. Doesn't matter whatever we have written here inside the if, it should always give us either true or false. That's it, right? So if the value of found itself is a true or false, we don't need to check any further like that. Okay. So
Excuse
if
me, sir.
found,
Right now, this logic you explained, it is only for the city course, or it is the basic logic for all languages?
no, basic for all the languages. Okay,
Okay.
if else statements. Yeah.
Not the if else statement, like the if value, if the boolean value you have explained, like if bracket boolean value is written, then how to
Yes.
do about it?
Yeah. If
Means this
anything,
is basic for all programming languages.
yes. Yeah. So if this condition, if condition is true, then only we are going to do this. If condition is false, then we have to go for else statement here, like this. Okay. So here it's a condition, and the value of this condition is false here. That's it. Okay. Now, for the first element, we have false, so we have found equals to true. Then we have put previous equals to x, that is basically 20. Then we are going for a next element. Here, you can see next element is 30. And the value of found is now true because we got updated here, right? Found got updated for the during first iteration. And now we are going to store the element here. Now, init list equals to init list plus what? Previous value here. That
Excuse
is
me, sir.
basically 20. Yes.
Sorry, sir, for asking. Means suppose in the first if means we are written if not found. Suppose then that not found would mean found equal to false, and those two would match. So will we go inside the if, or we will skip that?
No, now it's not found, right? Simply
Then
negation
if
of
not
that.
found in the first if.
Yeah, that's it. Only if not found, like that, right?
Yes, yes.
So here the value of found is false. Not of false will be true. Now entire condition will become true here, like that. Okay.
So we'll go inside the
Yes. Then we'll go inside this one. If we say not false, so not of false will be a true, and not of true will be false. Okay. So don't get confused here. We are only checking the condition, and the output should be either true or false, right? Not will simply give us the negation or opposite value. If it is true, then not of true will be false. If it is false, not of false will be a true. That's it. Okay.
And sir, by the other logic you explained, that equal to logic means suppose we are writing if not found, then not found would mean found equal to false. So initially the value we had assigned false, and here the condition is matching. So by that logic, it is becoming true. So we are going inside. Is it like that?
So if you say here, if I go with that logic, here we have to mention not, right? So not of found will become true. Now here true equals to true, right? That's it.
Okay.
Okay. So don't get confused here. Simply consider Boolean
will it
value
be
only. That's it. Yes.
so will it always be equal to true?
Yeah, because if in the if condition,
The
right? If
meaning.
it is, yeah.
Okay.
So you don't need to consider that. Okay. So don't get confused. Simply check the value of this one. Whenever it's flagged or found, if you see it's a Boolean, a thing, check the output of this condition here entire. Okay, not a
Sir, like
flag,
how
not
to
a
read
found.
statement? How do you read
Uh,
it?
so if found, right? So value of found is what? Here we already have, that is basically false. So if false, we are going for else statement. If true is there, we are going to just execute this statement. That's it. Okay. So if the condition is true, then do this. Otherwise, do this, right? In English, we can say like this. If condition is true, then do this. Otherwise, do this, right? Otherwise means what? If condition is false, then go for else block, then do this particular thing. Okay, whatever we have written here, like that. Okay. So just put the value. If you see here, it has the boolean, just put like that. False, it means the condition is false. If it is true, it means the condition is true. If we have like this, not of found inside the bracket, then put the value of found, that is basically false, but not of false will be true. Then we have to execute this one like that. Okay.
So the if statement we have to do if it's true, else statement if it's false.
Yes. Yeah.
In general itself.
Yeah. This is how if else will work. Okay. If true, do this. If it is false, then go for else statement. That's it. So you can see for the first iteration, the value of found was false, right? So it was false, so that's why we went for else condition. We updated the value of found to true. We store previous equals to x, that is basically 20. Now we are going back for each loop. Next element is 30. Now x equals to 30. Now here you can see if found again, but the value of found is what? True here. Now this is true. We need to enter this here. Now init list equals to, init list is empty initially, plus value of previous is basically 20. So in the output, it will be 20 in the list. So we don't need to go to else block. We'll simply go to previous x. X is basically 30. That's it. Then we go for a next iteration. For each x, next element is 40. Again, found is true only, right? So we have not updated the found value here. It will be true only, right? Now found is true. Again, this is true. Again, we need to execute this one. The previous iteration, the in list what was 20. Now here we have 40. Let's add not 40, 30, right? Previous is 30. So in the output, we are going to get 20, 30 like that. Okay. 20, comma 30. If we keep doing like this, what we are going to get? And here we have keeping a track of previous value, right? Here now I will update to 40. For the next iteration, this previous is keeping a track of previous value what we have stored. So like that, if you go for entire for loop, next iteration will store 40. Then the previous will become 50. Then will store, the next iteration will store 50, right? And during this, what the value of x will be? 10. Now, whenever the value of x is 10, found is true. Init list we have what? Let me write it down here. Init list what we have is 20, 30, 40, and the previous is was 50, right? So we are adding 50 here like that. So we are merging 50 inside the list. That's it. Then we are going for previous year. Previous equals to x. X is basically a 10. Now we are going for another element, but here we have gone through all the elements. So we don't have any other element here after 10. So we are going to exit the for loop, and then we are going to return what is init list here. That is basically at this one. So in this way, we have removed the last element here like that. This is the working of this init function. Anyone, any doubt here?
Sir, is it necessary to give previous condition for all init list function?
This one?
Yeah.
Yes, because here we are keeping a track of previous element and then we are storing that into a list like that here we are doing, right? We are using the previous element, then we are storing like that.
So I could understand the for if else that part, but ultimately what the code is doing, I could not get it. Means
No, see what we have done initially, the value of found was false here, right?
yes.
So we have gone for else block here. We have set that value to true and we have stored that value of x which was 20 to a previous element like that. Now if I go for a next iteration, the value of found is true only. If you observe inside the pseudocode, it is never going to become false again, right? The value of found will be true only and we are going to add the element inside the list previous element, because in the next iteration this will be a 30. We are not adding x here, we are adding previous element here, that is 20. So first we are adding 20, then 30, then 40, then 50, but for 10 we don't have any other element to access, so that's why we are going to exit the for loop, right? So 10 will get not added inside the init list here.
So why will 10
Sir,
not be added?
why for 10 there is no other element are set?
Yeah. So if I keep continue like this, now there will be a point for this element. Let's say for example, x equals to 50 and the previous element is 40 here. Is it fine?
Yes.
Right?
Yes,
And in
sir.
the list, we already have this 20 and 30. Now if I go, next element is 50, found is again a true only, init list is 20, 30, plus previous element is what, 40. So we are going to add 40 here. So that will be a 20, 30, 40. We don't need to go to else block because found is true. Now in this case, previous is now x. Now what is x? 50 here. Now this will be 50. Go for a next iteration. Next element is what? 10, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so next element is 10 and from the previous iteration in list was 20, 30, 40 plus previous element is 50 now. So 50 will get added, output will be 20, 30, 40, 50. That's it. Again, we are setting previous element to what? X. What is X here? 10, right? Up till now, any
10.
doubt? This is clear, right?
No, sir.
Yeah. So if I go for a next iteration
Yes, sir.
here, for each x in L, but after 10, we don't have any other element to access, right?
Yes,
So
sir.
here we don't have any other element to access. Now that's why we are not going to execute this particular block. Okay. So here we don't have any other element to access. So we are going to exit this for loop and whatever we have stored inside the init list, we are going to return that. So this will be the output. Okay. So this is how the pseudocode is working. Yeah. So we are going to exit the for loop only when here, if we gone through all the elements here like that. Okay. Okay. I hope you understand this particular working. So please try to apply same thing on in this particular case, rest as well. So if you understand what we have discussed, please try to apply same thing here. So this, take this list as the input and this should be in the output. Okay. You can just try this after the session. So this is what we are doing here. Okay. So we have a list concept, we have this particular function, we have a for loop working. That's it. Okay. This is the entire thing we have in week 5. The rest is just how you solve the questions. That's it. Anyone, any doubt? Can a
Sir,
list have a list as one of the element? Yes, it can have. So let's say for example, L is like this, 2, 3, and the third element can be a list again. Let's say for example, 1, 2. Okay. So you can see a nested list. We have a list as an element here, third element here. Okay. So when we access using for loop, for the first iteration, x will be 2. Second iteration, x will be 3. Third iteration, x will be 1, 2 like this. Okay. This is basically a third element, not one third element, not second, fourth element. Entire thing is the third element here. Okay. Remember this. Okay. Anyone, any doubt now? Yes.
So I have one query means regarding the pseudocode questions which involve procedure means in those pseudocodes from wherever the procedure begins, we have to read that part first and then the main code later, or we have to read it from top to bottom only?
No. So if we are using any procedure, let's say for example, count vowels, right?
Yes.
We are saying this count vowel equals to 3. But what this count vowel is doing, you don't know, right? So you
Yes.
need to go to a procedure where it is defined. Okay. It can be above, it can be below, it can be anywhere inside the code, but you need to go to that particular procedure and see what it is doing. And then the output of that particular procedure will be taken here. Okay.
Means in the questions where there is a main code means which involves the defined procedure, and below that we are defining the procedure. So which one to read first, the defining of the procedure or the main code?
Sorry. No. See, if you are going through the code and if you come across any function or procedure,
Yes.
that will get defined either earlier or at the last as well. Okay. So we can define function like that. In city, we are doing like this. Okay.
Okay.
So we need to go through that particular procedure, see what that it is doing, and then what is going to return, and then put the value here like that. Okay. So let me take one example that will be much clear. Okay. Any other doubt? List anyone?
No, sir.
Okay. So I will just take one question from week 5. So to discuss the concept. Now someone asks activity question doubt, right? Is he here? Activity question from week 5. Someone asked the doubt.
Sir,
Huh?
sir, graded assignments.
Okay. Just a minute. Let me discuss one question first. Okay. So that whatever we have discussed, we'll try to apply that. Then you can solve the remaining questions. Okay. So here we have, yeah. So here we have first and last as well. Okay. Great. So very good question here. Is this visible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So here we have one list L, only one element is there, 0. We have list LA, we have 3 elements. First, second, third. And each element is what? List here. This is also list. This is also list. This is also list. We have LB, empty list. We have LC, empty list. Okay. This is clear. Now what we are doing here, for each A in LA. Now tell me what is A here for the first iteration?
One.
List one, bracket
One. List one, yeah.
List of one like that. Now for each B in A, what is B in A now?
A separate list, like
Now here input is this list A. Now for each B in A, what is B here now?
one only, that one single one.
Single one. That is integer value. That's the element here, right?
Yes.
Because we had this is list and now we are going through element. Here also LA is a list and this entire list is the element here. Okay. Now what we are doing here, LB. LB is empty list here equals to what? In bracket we have specified B plus LB. Okay. So here you can see it will get 1. Okay. So because initially LB is empty here. Now pay attention here, because if you observe here, LB plus B and B plus LB both will give us different output. Can you tell me why?
Sir, because the order
will be different.
Position is
order.
changed.
different order.
So number of element will be same, but order will be different here, like that. Okay. So you can see here LB equals to 1. L equals to, what is this? Tell me what will be L now? That is basically a list. But what is list here? First of L plus B. Can you tell me what's the value here of L?
0.
first of L is 0. So in bracket, we have first of L, output is 0, plus we have B. B is 1, bracket close, output is what? In bracket, we have 1. So L is basically equals to 1 now. Is this clear? How this is working?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now go for next element. What will happen here? A just have one element, right? So we have gone through that element. Now we don't have any other element to access. So we are going to exit this for loop. That's it. Now we'll execute this one. What is this? What will be LC?
It's 1, I guess.
No, LB is what?
The bracket 1.
1.
So here bracket 1, then what is LC here?
LC is a blank list currently.
This
Empty.
empty list.
Is this correct?
Yes, sir.
Here LB is what? Bracket 1. We are putting that inside the bracket. So it will be like this.
Nested list.
Yeah, it will be like this. The output will be like this. Okay. It's a nested list here. So LB is already a list, but we are again putting it inside the list here. That is basically nested list here. Okay. Like this. LB again, it goes empty here now. Okay. After going through the process. Now same, we have to repeat. Now go for a next element. What is next element now in ELA? What
List
will
1.
be A? No,
The
1 comma
first
2.
index.
And
1,
list
comma
1,
2.
2.
Yeah, 1 comma 2. We already gone through 1. Now here A is 1 comma 2. For each B, B is 1,
It's
right?
single one.
So here again LB is basically we have empty set, so it's 1. So output will be same 1. What about this L? Tell me. In bracket first of L plus B. What is first of L here?
0.
Again 0.
No. L got updated na from the previous iteration. It's not
Bracket
0.
1.
Bracket
It's
1.
1.
Bracket.
Yeah.
Bracket 1.
So it's bracket 1 plus B. What is B? Sorry, first of L, na? It's an element only, right? So L is basically in bracket we have 1, that is the list. So first of L will be 1 plus B. What is B? 1 here.
1.
So that will be 2. So what we are doing? We are updating the value of L here. That is basically a 2. Okay, 1 plus 1. That is basically 2. Right? Now what about LC? What is LC here? Tell me.
Nested list 1.
Bracket 1 it is.
What is B here?
2.
No. We don't have to go to LC. We have one more element, na? So we have gone for B equals to 1. Now we have for loop here. Going for next element. Now B equals to 2. Right?
Yes, sir.
Now what is LB here? B is 2. What is LB? LB is 1. Right? Now LB will become what?
2, comma 1.
2 comma 1. So we are reversing the list, right? 2 comma 1 like that. Now what is first of L here?
1.
No, from the previous iteration L got updated to 2 na
It's
here.
2 plus 1.
Yes, sir.
2 plus
It's
1, that is
2.
basically a 3. Okay. 3. Again go for next iteration, but that's it. We just have 2 elements. We don't have any other element. So that's it. We are going to
I
exit the
cannot
for loop.
understand the first L part.
Which one? First
The
L.
first L. Yes.
First L is basically first element of the list. So here we previously it was 2. So this is basically a list. If I say first of this list, it is going to give us element. Element is basically 2 here. First element of the list, that will be 2. And the B is was, what's the value of B? It was 2, I guess. Sorry. Wait. 2 plus 2, right? It should be 4 then. Yeah. So then it will become 2 plus 2, that will become 4 here. Let me write it down here, right? So this is what L is. Any doubt here up till now? Hello?
No,
सर
sir,
इस
no doubt.
Okay.
सर
हाँ
सर हमें एक टेबल बना के इसको अपडेट करते रहना चाहिए जिससे हमें ये सिंप्लीफाइड लगे सर ऐसा करना
Table,
चाहिए क्या सर या रैंडमली करना सही रहेगा
yeah, if you feel creating a table, you can do that. But in this way also you can do by keeping a track of each
Sir, means
variable.
actually when doing the question, I am also having a problem. Means when I'm doing mentally, some mistake is happening. So how to simplify and
No,
track of
you
this?
have
Could
you have to
you give an
practice
advice?
only. Yeah. So you can keep a track of previous thing. Okay. I'm just writing, I'm just erasing the calculation. You can continue with the calculation, okay? Entire thing. Then you can keep a track of that. So L we already said this is basically what 4, right? Because previously it was what 2, right? 1 plus 1 2. So first of L was 2
Hello, sir.
and B was 2 here. Yes.
No, sir. Means like how we are doing mentally means when I am trying to do that mentally, some mistake is happening in the question in previous time also. So could you please give an advice how to like make a table or what to do so that the mistake does not happen in the rough work?
No, so you have to do practice only, and you can keep a track. You can write down in a systematic manner, right? So for
Yes. Could you
the
please give an example how to do?
first iteration, you can write this like this, right? For the first iteration, the value of A was 1, right? Then we have gone through all the elements. Then LB was what? 1 here. L was what? 0 plus first of L, that is 1 here, right? Then go for next iteration here. Sorry, here we have completed. Now go for a next iteration here. Then the value of A become 1 comma 2. Then you can write second iteration. So in this way, you can keep a track of all these things. Okay, like that. So try with this approach. Try to solve a question with this approach. Okay. So you need to do practice. There is no shortcut, but you can keep a track of the previous iteration so that you don't miss what we have done. Okay. So you don't need to remember like that. Okay. So see here, like after second iteration, when A was 1 comma 2, we got this what?
2 comma
Value
1.
of, yeah,
4.
this is 2 comma
Yeah,
1
2 comma 1.
and this was 4, right? So we don't have any other element, we'll exit the for loop. LC will be what? LB. LB is what? So previously LC was 1 only, right? Like this. So previous case, LC was list of list like that, right? Now LB is what? 2 comma 1. But inside the bracket, we have to write 2 comma 1, right? Plus again list inside the list, right? This is was LC from the previous iteration. This is what we got now. Now, can you tell me the output? What we are doing here?
ब्रैकेट 2,1 ब्रैकेट 1
Yes, that's it, right?
Sir.
Again, we are merging two lists here. Okay. So you
Excuse me,
can
sir.
consider this is one element, here one element, this is the list, and we are merging two lists, and here we got element like that. Yes.
So at the very last, we are again writing LB equal to blank list. So we are reinitializing that LB to a
Yes.
blank list.
We are reinitializing that to empty list here because
Okay.
once we have done this here, at this line, LB will be empty, right? Then for the next iteration, for each A in LA, now we have gone through this one, this one. Now next element is 1, 2, 3. Now A is 1, comma 2, comma 3 like this. Okay. Now what we are doing here, for each B in A, now A is this one, for each B. So for the first iteration, B is 1, right? So again, LB is basically initially empty. B is basically 1. So this will be 1 here. What about this L now? Tell me. Previous it was 4.
4 plus 1.
Yeah. So first of L is 4 plus 1 is B, that is basically a 5. So that will become 5. Then go for a next iteration for inner for loop because we have more elements here. Next element is 2. What will happen here? Tell me.
1 plus 2.
1,2.
1,2.
B is 2. What is LB here? 1, right? 1, 2 or 2, 1?
2,1.
2, 1, right? What will happen here? Please mute.
5 plus 2.
Now
5
it's
plus
L is equal to 5 plus 2.
5 plus 2, that is because first of L is 5. 5 plus 2 will be what? 7 here.
7.
Now again we have to check. Go for a next element. Next is basically 3. What we are doing here? Tell me. What is
Comma.
B
3,
here?
2, 1.
3 plus LB. Again, this will get updated 3 2 1, right? And what we are doing here, L, tell me. First
7
of
plus
L,
3,
3.
that is equal to 10.
7 plus 3, that is basically equals to a 10. Go for a next element. Do we have next element?
No,
No.
sir. Now it's goes to LC.
Exit the for loop. Now go to LC and LB. Tell me what is LC, LB now. LB will be empty set. What is LC now? What is LB?
3,
This one.
2,
Add
1.
one list.
Nested list of 3, 2.
Yeah. So if I add this 3 2 1 plus this one, right? So this will be like this 3 2 1, then 2 1, then 1, right?
Yes, sir.
So what we have done actually here, if you observe, LC is what? We have reversed the list. Can I say like this?
Yes,
Reversed
sir.
LA. And what is L
Reverse the
here?
list and all the elements of the list also.
Yeah. Here we have added summation of all the element of the list. That is basically a 10, right? So we're adding one by one. One, first element, first element, first element, first element, first element. Here we got 10, right? And here we are reversing the list. If I say like this LC plus LB, in that case, what is going to happen? Tell me.
Same list will return.
No. How same list?
What did you say, sir?
If I just say LC plus LB, okay? Instead of LB plus LC, here I am saying LC plus LB. If you observe here, element inside the list will also get reversed, getting reversed here, right?
Yes, sir.
So we'll get the list ELA, but it will be like this 1, then 2, 1, and here it will be 3, 2, 1 like this. Okay. If I say LB plus B, and both the things are same like this, in that case, we are going to get the same list A. Okay. So please check the order here. We are reversing the both the list, inside list and entire list as well here. So if you see LC will be this, L will be 10. Now let's see the value of L at the execution will be what? 10, right? In the bracket, you can see, right? So answer will be B here, right? What about LC? We have reversed the list as well as the element. Here it will be C, right? You can see this one, right? So this is what question 3 and 4 is. If I simply change the question, you should be able to do that, right? We can also just change here like this plus LB. That's it. The new question will become. If I change here plus LB, that's it. New question will become, right? If I don't reinitialize LB, again, you need to think what will happen in that case. Okay. Answer will be completely different. So small changes we can do, and that will be a different question, right? I hope you understand how this for loop is working now, right? And how we are iterating to the elements. Any doubt in for loop? Anyone? if I change instead of first, if I change last, what will be the output? Okay, so that you need to think. Okay, so please try to solve all the question. This is enough. Whatever we have discussed, that is enough to solve all PA and GA question. Okay, so rest is just how well you know for loop, while loop, and the working of a list here, like that. Okay, so anyone, any doubt in week 5 activity? I know most of you have not gone through because qualifier student may not have gone through the content, but for
Sir, I
some
have a
student,
doubt in activity
yes,
5.3.
5.3. Okay, 5.3.
Sir, I have doubt from POQ. Can I ask?
Yes, yes. Let me take activity doubt. Then someone having doubt in graded assignment 4. Then I will take your doubts. Yeah. Activity 5.3. Yes.
Yes, yes.
Which question?
Second question.
I'm not sharing my screen. Oh, okay, wait.
Sir, not second question, first question.
Okay. Share my screen. Five point three. Second question.
First question.
First question. Okay. So here you can see MPC. We have mathematics, physics, chemistry, respectively. It's a list of students who come within top 3. Okay. So MPC is what? A list of a student who score in top 3 in mathematics, physics, chemistry, like that. Okay. X is basically length of M, Y is length of P, and Z is length of C here, right? Now let's see the question. We have nested iteration. Let me erase this one. Nested iteration, find the list of a student who are among the top 3 scorer in both mathematics and physics. The top 3 in both mathematics and physics. How many pairwise comparisons among the element of the list M and P are needed? So this will be C, right? What's the answer?
Yeah, sir. Option C.
Yes, sir.
C only, right? So like same thing we have discussed, the number of comparisons in the case of May list and Chennai list. Same thing we are doing it here, right? X into Y. Because there can be possibilities two students have same marks. So in mathematics, we have 4 students like that with sequence number. In physics, we have only 3 students, top 3 students. Okay. Like that. So again, here we have 4, here we have 3. Anyway, we need to compare 12 times. That's it, right? Because every element of M will get compared with all the 3 elements. Again, this will get compared with all the 3 elements. Like that, we need to go. Okay. So 12 comparisons are required for this example, and X and Y you can say. Okay. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Great.
Sir,
Great assignment doubt. Yes, anyone?
sir,
Anyone
Yes,
is
sir.
having?
Sir, will the qualifier exam include content only from the first 4 weeks, or will it cover all 6 weeks of
No,
content?
first 4 week only. Week 1 to 4.
Okay, sir. Thank
Yeah. Anyone doubt in week 4 assignment graded 1? Someone
Yes,
asked?
sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay.
So question number 8, 9, and 10.
Week 4 graded, right? Deadline is over, right?
Yes,
Yes.
sir. Over.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. $23. Not this one, I guess. This one. 8, 9, 10.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's go with 8 first. Okay, so here we have a scores data set, and student can join subject club. Okay, so club, if she score is above the score mentioned.
Sir,
Okay. Yes.
sir, like in the sign-in page, there are 3 exam dates mentioned. One is 13 July, which is uh, for which the portions are the first 4 weeks, and the 3rd August is how the portions
No,
are.
no. So if you are a qualifier student, you have to give exam on 13th of July. That is quiz 1 qualifier. Or a term student, that is quiz 1, quiz 2, and end term. So in every course, we have these 3 exam, quiz 1, quiz 2, and end term, right? So dates are for those 3 exams, okay?
Sir,
Once,
only if I qualify, I can go for the
yes,
August exam.
yes. If you
August 3rd
qualify,
exam.
yes, if you qualify, you have to enroll in the course and then you can go for quiz 2, end term, okay?
Sir,
Yes.
sir, should I study only the first 4 weeks for now and study week 5 after the qualifier exam?
Yeah, so as of now, all qualifier students focus on the qualifier exam week 1 to 4 and just need to submit the week 5 assignment. That's it. Okay. Just
Sir,
submit. It will
week
not
5
take.
assignment are compulsory?
No, if you want to continue, then it's compulsory. If you don't want to continue this term, if you want to take admission next term, then it's not required.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Yeah. So if you are not decided, so better to submit. It will hardly take 30 minutes, right? That's it. Whatever we have discussed, that is good enough. Okay, let me discuss this question. So here we have 3 subjects: physics, chemistry, mathematics. So number of students in this club respectively. Okay. What's the question actually? Pseudocode is given. Which club student can join if she gets 92 marks in physics and mathematics but 84 in chemistry? So we have physics, mathematics 92 and chemistry 84. Okay, what you didn't understand? Yes, anyone who asked this question?
So I have clicked the answer that the student can join physics because he is scoring 92, which is greater than 90. But in the answer, it's saying it can't join any club.
Okay, we'll see. So table 1 has more rows. Now what is subject equals to max subject? Now what is max subject? I don't know. I will go to this procedure. What we are doing, we're comparing the marks. Physics marks is what? 92. Mathematics 92. Is this condition true? 92 greater than 92?
No, sir.
No. Then we'll go for a else block here, right?
Yes, sir.
Is mathematics greater than the chemistry? Yes. So what we are going to return? Mathematics, right? Is this fine?
Yes.
Okay. So here the subject will become what? Mathematics now. Okay. So here subject is now mathematics. Now let's go with the next statement. If subject equals to mathematics, yes. And mathematics marks greater than 95. Is this true?
Yes, sir. Great.
No.
No, sir. No, sir.
No. So not true. We are not going to get counted in here. What about subject physics? No. Chemistry? No. So that's it, right? We cannot join any group, na here, MPC.
Yes, sir. Understood.
That's the only question, I guess. Yeah. Okay. Question number 9. When
Sir,
a
that is
student.
also similar, sir. I understood, sir.
Okay. Then question number 10, right? Okay. What is your doubt here?
Sir, in the question, sir, my option was number of adjectives, matlab number of words before adverb.
Okay. We'll see. What's the answer given? Number of words before the first adverb or full stop in every sentence. Okay, we'll see. So here we have pseudocode A0, B0, P true, Q false. Table 1 has more rows. Read the first row. If part of speech is adverb and P, what's the P here? True. If that particular word is having part of speech adverb and the P is also true, in that case, we are setting P equals to false and Q equals to true, right? If part
Yes.
of speech is not adverb, in that case, what we are going to do? We are going for a else block. Can I say like this?
Yes, sir.
Then not of Q. Q is basically false. Not of false is true. A will get increment to 1, right?
Yes.
That's it. And if X dot word ends with a full stop, P equals to true and Q equals to false. Okay. So let's say, for example, we have it was Monday morning. Okay. So we don't require the data here, but I'm taking one example, right? So
Yes.
so here, what's the part of speech of it?
Pronoun.
We don't have any adverb here. Okay, no worries. So let's say this is a pronoun. Let's say this is an adverb. This is noun. This is noun. Okay, for example. So first row X in table 1, it's a pronoun. Not true. We go for else. Here A will become 1 because Q is false initially. Again, it is not ending with a full stop. We are not going to do anything. Go for a next word. Is was. Now was is having what? Adverb, part of speech. For example, and here it will be satisfied. P will be true because we have not updated true here. And then P is set to false, Q is set to true here. Okay. So what A will represent, right? This is the question is, right? So you can see here, then we will not go to else block. We'll again see if condition, no. Go for again next row, Monday, noun. Noun, part of speech, no. Adverb is not correct. We'll go for else block. What is not of Q here?
Q.
No, true. Because we got adverb. So whenever we are getting adverb inside the sentence, Q will become true. Can I say like this?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
If Q becomes true, not of Q will become what?
False.
False.
False here, right? So it means what? We are not going to consider that in the A, right?
Yes, sir.
So this Q is going to become false only when the word end with full stop. So whenever inside the sentence, if we got adverb, if the first word is not a, if the first word of a sentence is adverb, then it is A will not going to get increment. So what's the option? Let me read. Now let's go to the option here. We'll see. Number of words before the first adverb in every sentence. Number of adverb before the first adverb. Sorry, number of adverbs before the first adverb in every sentence. Before the first adverb in every sentence. No. Number of words. Anyway, we are not considering the number of adverbs here, right? So number of words after the first adverb in every sentence. Is this correct? You mark this one, right?
Sir, I have marked before one number of words before the first adverb.
Okay. Second option. Okay, before one, third option, right? So see, second option was not correct. Number of words after the first adverb in every sentence. No. Here, number of words before the first adverb or full stop in every sentence. This is the correct answer, no?
Sir, I have marked the last one.
Okay, last one. Number of words before the first verb in every sentence. Okay, before the first verb in every sentence. Before the first verb in every sentence. That is what A is. Okay. Okay.
If the sentence is not having adverb, then it will check full
Yes.
stop.
Yeah. If the
For that.
sentence is not having the adverb, in that case, what is going to happen? This will never become true, right?
Yes, sir.
So P is going to never become false and Q is never going to become a true. So if we consider that one, so ends with full stop, then P equals to true and Q equals to a false here, right? Number of words before the first adverb.
Yes, sir. Only else, else work only.
Only
Else,
else
if not.
there, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Number of words before the full stop in every sentence, right? So only else will get execute, right? So we are going to consider all the words, na, in this case. If I say,
yes,
yeah. So option C is correct, na, here. It was Monday
yes,
morning and
yes,
we don't have any adverb here. So that is going to consider this also, right? Yeah. So option
yes,
C
sir.
is correct. Yeah. Okay, great.
Thank you, sir.
Anyone, any other doubt? Yeah, previous year. Yes, you can ask now. Neil
Sir,
or
may I share the screen?
yeah, you can share the screen. How many questions?
It's like two or three, two.
Okay, we can discuss in next session, but I can you can just show me what's your question. I will not solve that, but I will clear your doubt. Okay, it will take time otherwise.
Means could you please enable the sharing? I am not able to
Yes,
share.
sir.
Oh, okay. Yes,
Please enable sharing. I am not able to share.
Sir, if
I have
any
done that. Can
question,
you share? Yes, Shelly, tell me.
sir, in any question, it is given if B or any variable, we take it as true, or it
If
depends on
B,
the default value which was given.
no, can you repeat?
Yes,
If,
sir, if any question it is given, if B or any variable,
hmm, if B only, right? Or if any variable, right? So whatever the
yes,
value
sir,
of that variable will be, that we
B
have to consider.
means sir, we have to take in the default value which was given there.
Yeah. So whatever the value of that particular variable. So if B, right? So yeah.
So
So
it can be false or it can be true.
yes, it can be false, it can be true. So just check what is the value
It
of B
depends on
at
the
that
default
time.
value which was given.
No, default value, it means you are saying initialized value, right? It may possible that the
Yes,
value
sir.
get updated after that also, right? So whatever the current value of that variable is, that you have to consider. Okay.
In starting, suppose,
Sir, I have sent a screenshot in the
yes,
chat.
sir.
Yeah, I will check.
Means I've got this question wrong. I cannot figure out how.
Question is not visible clearly. Let me check next image.
Sir, have you received the
Yeah.
photo?
Yeah, I got the, yeah. Let me share my screen. Okay, so we'll discuss this question. That's it. See, I don't think the source from which you have taken, we cannot verify that. So if it's our question, we can see. If they have created the question, I'm not sure. Okay. So is my
They means
screen visible?
it is a PIQ only.
Yeah. They might have done some mistake, like while copy pasting also, it may possible. Is my screen visible?
Screen.
Hello?
Yes.
Yeah. So see, we have this particular paragraph, right? And this pseudocode is given to us.
Yes.
So uppercase, lowercase, we have to ignore which of the following words will not be considered in the count at the end of execution, right?
Yes.
Will not be, okay. So see, we have count 0, flag false, while table 1 has more rows. Read the first row X in table 1. So what you need to consider here, first row means what? First element here like this. So every
Yes.
row is basically one word, right?
Yes.
So first letter of the word S, yes, that is correct. S we have. What's the value of flag? False, right?
Yes.
Entire condition will become false. This is true and false will become false. So we are not going to do anything. Word ending with full stop? No. Go for a next word. By. No, by anyway, not correct, right? So if you
No.
observe here inside the condition, we are going to count only the word starting with yes and second letter U. SU
Yes.
only, right?
Yes.
So I will ignore this by nature directly. Now if I
Yes.
go for a Susan, again first letter is S, but what about flag?
It is
False
false
only, right?
currently, so it will not.
Yeah. So it will not going to get executed here also, here also, here also. But what about these birds? Now, first letter of word, yes, no, not true.
No.
But what about this one? Word ending with full stop. Now for this one, it is correct, right?
Yes.
So flag is true now. Now
Yes.
flag become true. Now go for next word, that is arresting here. Anyway, not starting from S. No, no. What about suggest?
Yes.
Word starting with yes, flag is true now. Word starting with second word is you. So we are going to get consider this one. So this will get considered. Now flag is never going to become false. So yes, you all the words after that will get considered, I guess. Yeah. So only words Susan, surround,
So how can we
and
understand the flag will not become false further? Means right
because
now it is not false, but
we don't have flag equals to false anywhere in the code, right?
okay,
So
okay,
only we have initialized that. That's it, right?
okay.
Only the word which is not getting considered is the first sentence one. Okay. I think in the option, if you got any one of this, that will be the correct one. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So that's it. Next we can discuss. From next week we'll be having the revision
Just one
sessions
more question
only.
is there. Because of the options I have sent two screenshots. Just one more question is there.
Only two images I got. Can you send that one also?
Yes. No, at that time I have not sent. That was one question. Just another question.
You have one more doubt?
Yes, just one more.
Okay. This paste. So please try to solve all the assignment questions, practice GA and mock test. And if you get the previous year question, try to solve those. So that will be good enough. Yeah.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, I had doubt that the
Sir,
content of week 5 will come in the qualifier or not.
No, no, no. Only week 1 to 4.
Okay.
Okay. That's it. Yes.
So if it is given that the default value is b is equals to false, and if b, we take there as b, we check the condition as b is equals to false, no?
No, I think again you are getting confused with that if B condition only, right? So see, so don't get
Yes,
equal
I'm
to thing.
actually getting
Don't
confused.
don't go for equal to case. Okay.
Actually,
Don't
sir,
compare with
the
any
case
other
said
value.
that we always take the condition as b is equals to true in starting.
If B,
Means
that's it.
if b condition, then we take always it as true, and if not b, we always take it as false. It depends on the default value.
No, no. Don't consider anything. Don't assume anything. Simply if you have this if B condition, whatever the value of B will be, either it can be true or false only. That only you have to consider. If the value of B is true, so if true, that's it. Okay. So you need to execute this one. If the value of B is false,
okay,
then you don't have to execute if statement. You can go for else statement here if it is present. Okay. So don't consider this equals to true or false. You are getting confused there. Whatever the value of B will be there at that point of time while checking if condition, that you have to consider. If it is true, then execute this one. If it is false, then go for else block, or if we don't have else, then go for a next statement here. Okay. Just check the value of B. And if we have not B, so not B, if the value of B is true, not B will become false. If the value of B is false, not of false will become true, like that. Okay. So don't compare anything here. Okay, like that.
Okay. Thank you.
Whatever the value of B will be there at that point, you have to consider. It may happen that initialize we have with B equals to false, and after some time B got updated to true, and then we have a condition if B, right? So in that case, you have to take the current value of variable B, that is true, okay? Not the initial one. So keep a track of that particular variable, okay?
I have sent image in the chat.
Okay. Again, two questions, two images. Okay. What's your doubt in this question? Can you tell me?
Means doubt specifically means I gave the second option there considering the first one. I cannot understand why my option was wrong. Means
sorry, first option is given correct.
Yes, yes. Actually, I give the second option as correct. It is a multiple select question, so means the second option why it is wrong I cannot understand because it is seems correct.
Okay. Let me share. You can see the pseudocode, right? So here library is there. Wait, I am not sharing. Yeah, so following pseudocode library data set by returns. So what this procedure is going to return? Author A has written more number of non-fiction book than fiction book. Is this clear? That's it,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So then it is going to return what? True. So if count greater than 0, return true, otherwise return false. That's it. So we need to fill the code. Where is the
Yes.
text image? Okay, and we don't have anything. We just have count greater than 0, then true. Okay, so we'll remember.
Less than 0, then true.
Yeah. So
I have
let
sent
me
the
just.
option in the another image. In one image, it was not fitting.
Yeah. So see here, first option. If author equals to A and X equals to genre equals to fiction, then we are going to store count equals to count plus 1, right? So what is the value of this count will be? The author whose name is A and the fiction book, right? Published, right?
Yes.
Can we say like this?
This means the
Then
author is A and the genre is fiction.
fiction. Then that will get in the count. Even if the author is A and it is non-fiction, then in that case it will go to else block, right?
Means if the whole condition is false, then it will go to else.
Yeah. No, whole condition. So if author equals to A, that is true, but genre is non-fiction. That will be false. So true and false will become false, right?
Yes.
In that case, we'll go to else statement. Again, we are checking if author equals to A or not. So count will be equals to what? Count minus 1.
Yes.
Right? So
this okay, I can understand, but why was my option wrong? The second option.
Second option is wrong because we are decreasing the count value even if the author is even if the author is different, not for the same author. If the author is B, then we are decreasing the count, but we are not dealing with any author, right? We are dealing with what? A author only, right? Let me read the question. What I asked.
Yes, author A only.
Author A only, right? If the author B is there, still we are decreasing the count na, of A.
Yes.
That is not correct. Okay.
No,
Okay,
but
so
the logic is that only the means if the first condition is false, means the first condition false means that genre is not equal to that. So it can be of the author A also, but not author A also. So
no.
that
Let's say, for example, we got first 5 book of author A having fiction. In that case, count will be 5, right?
yes.
Then the next book of author B, then count will become 4, na? That is not a correct, right?
Oh yes, yes.
Yeah. If next book is of author A but of non-fiction, then count should be 4. But we have to check for same author. Okay. Okay. So that's it from my side. Thank you, everyone. Please try
Sir,
to.
sir,
Yes.
sir, today's class link, can you paste it in calendar, sir?
Let me share. It's not there in the calendar.
No, sir. YouTube,
So see,
YouTube link is
yeah,
not there.
all the YouTube links you can find out on our BS Degree main channel. So that's it from my side. So I'm sharing the link.
Yes, sir. It would be good, sir, if you posted it in calendar because it is hard to find in. Like we have to search it and we have to then find it, sir.
Yeah.
The link, sir. That is the reason, sir. I'm saying requesting, sir.
I will update that in the calendar. Yeah, no worries. Okay, so you can just refer to this link I have shared. I will upload that in the calendar. I will add the links. Okay, no worries. Yeah. Okay, thank you. Thank you, everyone. Bye bye. Good night.
Bye, sir. Good night.